morning. We're continuing talking about cues, talking about what can you set up so that you make habits a consistent part of your life, so that you quit the bad habits, you increase the good habits. And I'm going to talk about something kind of odd because it's so simple. If you want to do something more, make it easier. If you don't want to do something anymore, make it more difficult. I'm going to give you a few examples. My wife plays this trick on me every day. I know she's doing it to me, and I don't even care because it works really well. What she does is if she wants me to eat more vegetables and fruit, she puts them on the kitchen counter, on the kitchen table, or at the front of the fridge. Actually, just this morning, she said, "Hey, where are the blueberries? Hey, Mark, did it work?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Did you eat the blueberries?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Great, I placed them at the front of the fridge believing you would." My wife knows that if she makes things easy for me, I will eat them more, fruit and vegetables. If she makes it more difficult for me, or not she makes it more difficult because she's not doing this to me, right? But if something is more difficult for me, I typically won't eat as much of it. With food, I'm somebody who tries to move through things really fast. So whatever's most convenient, that's what I will eat more of, and that makes me human. Okay, it makes a lot of sense to anybody. This works in multiple realms. If you've gone to a store, notice that things that are placed at eye level are typically things that have a higher markup, because people will buy more things that are eye level. People will buy more things that when they're in the checkout line, because it's convenient as they're just sitting there and thinking about it. People will buy more things at the end of an aisle. Have you ever noticed that at the end of an aisle there's stuff that it doesn't really fit there? Because stores have figured out that when you place them at the end of the aisle, more people buy them. We think that we have a lot of choice in life. Actually, you know what? We're really programmed in multiple ways. So if you understand how you're programmed, you can then take action to help yourself. So, really quickly, if you want to eat less sugar, guess what you do? You make it more difficult to eat sugar. In other words, remove sugar from the house. Remove candies from the house. We don't have snacks in our house. It's very difficult to find snacks in our house. And the reason why is because if they're there, I eat them. If they're there, my wife eats them. If they're there, the kids eat them. Like, that's the way it works. So simply by placing it in a more difficult place, it's more difficult. That's how you stop bad habits. The way you increase good habits is by making things easy. So let's say you want to drink more water. What can you do? If you want to drink more water, you simply place water in more places around your office desk, around your house. And when it's around, you'll drink more of it. Fact. They've done this in hospitals, they've done this in cafeterias, and they find, or like in schools, and they find that people will drink more water simply because it's more accessible. This works in a lot of other ways too. Environment is very important, and you need to create an environment that works with your, with humanity, with who you are, with who I am, with who we all are. I'll give you another example. So many people complain about sleeping poorly to me. A lot of clients, a lot of people that I've known in the past, and yet they use their bedroom in really odd ways. So if you play games or watch TV in your bedroom, TV is a stimulant. The blue light from the TV is actually there. It wakes you up, not putting you to sleep. And some people, you might say, "Oh, I go to sleep with the TV on." Fine, you go to sleep with the TV on. That doesn't prove anything. What it shows is that you're so tired that even when the TV's on, you go to sleep, okay? Some people say the TV helps them go to sleep. That's actually not true. If you look at studies, if you look at what happens long term, TVs in the room, people who have TVs in the room always consistently sleep poorer than people who do not have a TV in the room. So if you're having trouble sleeping, change your environment. The way you can do that is you can take the TV out of the room, take stimulants out of the room, take your phone, take other things and put them away, turn them off for the night. And then, if you want to work on your sleep, only go into your bedroom when you're tired. When you're tired, go directly to your bedroom. If you're not tired in your bedroom, leave your bedroom. I've been told by sleep experts that bedrooms should be used for 3 things: sleep, sex, sickness. Use your bedroom for those 3 things, and more likely you will sleep better, okay? Unless you're having sex all the time. Now your bedroom will be associated with other things, right? So control the environment. We have simple brains, control. I'm going to use another example with addictions. I used to work in an addiction center. It was fascinating. We would have these people who were doing so well. They go through this 3-week program. They were doing really well, and they kicked their addictions, and they were doing extremely well. They changed some relationships. They were interacting well, and they would go back to their home, and guess what? They would start using again. environment is so important. If your brain has linked using addictions or using drugs to being in a certain place, you're more likely to use again. I'll tell you a story associated with it. I heard a story about somebody, this was somebody else's client, not mine, and for something like 20 years, he hadn't used heroin. Okay, he was addicted to heroin, kicked the habit, had not used for 20 years, didn't even have cravings anymore. And then he got contact lenses when he was like 40, 45. I don't remember his exact age, but later on in life he got contact lenses. And when he put his contact solution and his everything associated with his contacts around the what is the word I'm looking for? The sink, the bathroom sink. Then all of a sudden he had this craving for heroin again. And the reason was because he used to put his paraphernalia around the sink when he was going to use. So how do you change your habits? I'm going to give you a couple of quick ideas for habit change with business. If you tend to look at Facebook or do something else in your office or on a certain computer rather than working, it can be as simple as buying a new computer and using it in a different location. So instead of using it in your regular desk space, move your desk around, change your office around, buy a new computer, put it in, and only use the new computer for work. That can be as simple as it is, and all of a sudden with your environment a little bit different, you are more likely to have success. I found that as soon as I moved my office outside of the home, outside, I was able to get far more done. If I struggle in my office now, I'll go to a coffee shop or something and I get far more done. Just simply the change helps with my motivation. So here's the question, here's the action step for today. Ask yourself, what are the cues? What are the habits I'm trying to change? What are put some plus signs beside positive habits you want, negative signs beside or minus signs between habits you don't want, and then look at the things that you're doing in your life and go, how can I make it more difficult to do the things that I don't want to do? How can I make it easier to do things I do want to do? Now, you don't have to do this with everything to start off with. What I'd suggest is simply choose one or two habits that you really want to work on. I'm going to give you an example with my business partner who I talked to this morning, and I encouraged him. He said, Mark, I've got really good habits starting, but I'm struggling with exercise. What I said to him was, how much exercise are you trying to do? And he said, well, I'm trying to work up a good sweat. And I said, how about this? At the start, how about you make it easy, how about you create the habit by simply putting on your workout gear and doing something for 1 minute. And he said, well, I'm not going to get anything from that. I said, oh yes you are. You're not going to get a big workout from it initially, but you are going to be able to work on it. You're going to be able to create this synthesis with our brain where we get our workout clothes in the morning when we work out. And once that's in your brain, once you're doing it automatically, and it's easy for you to do, you don't have to use willpower anymore. You'll automatically do it. Most likely, you'll do it for 2 minutes, and then 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes, and then get your good sweat on. And that's how our brains work. So again, try this out, mess around with this. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me.